My name is Just Ivy Africa. I want to welcome everybody to Africa's Business Heroes community event and information session. Hey! And I want to welcome to the stage someone who's going to be able to break down exactly what Africa's Business Heroes stands for, what it's about, and how you can win a share of $1.5 million in funding for your business. Please, a huge round of applause for the Managing Director of Africa's Business Heroes, Mrs. Zara Boateng.
All right. Thank you all for being here. It's really a pleasure to be in Nairobi. Nairobi is so special to us at Africa Business Heroes for many reasons. First of all, we have amazing heroes from Kenya, many of whom you'll hear from today. So what is ABH? We're an initiative that aims to position African entrepreneurs as the heroes that they are, as the heroes that you all are. Many of you in this room are really driving change in your communities. You are part of a force that is building economies, that is creating growth and driving innovation. And ABH really aims to spotlight that work and position you as heroes to inspire millions more to also pursue entrepreneurship, not as a means of last resort, but really as a means to drive change. And so we launched Africa Business Heroes in 2019, and we are a Pan-African, inclusive, sector-agnostic, and grassroots-oriented initiative that aims to identify and spotlight 100 entrepreneur heroes to inspire millions more. And how do we do this? Every year, we host what we believe is Africa's largest and most inclusive pitch competition, where, as Just Ivy Africa mentioned, we award a pool of $1.5 million to 10 entrepreneurs. It's a pure grant. We award this grant to 10 deserving and talented entrepreneurs. And these 10 heroes pitch to an illustrious panel of judges in front of a live audience and receive invaluable advice. But we also believe we're far more than a pitch competition. We also tell the stories of our heroes to the world. We produce high-quality video narratives that aim to showcase the innovation, impact, and insights of our heroes. We provide a media spotlight on our heroes that help to amplify their stories and, importantly, inspire others. And so who are we looking for? People often ask, what is the criteria? We're looking for African entrepreneurs who are the founder or co-founder of a business that is registered and operated in Africa, and that is creating impact. And what we mean by that is you're solving a pertinent problem and doing so at scale. Importantly for us, the businesses have to be post-idea stage, so we're looking for businesses that have at least 3 years of market traction. You have paying customers, and they've been showing that they're willing to buy your product. And this essentially is our criteria. We are open to entrepreneurs from literally every sector and of every age. We've had entrepreneurs as young as 13 and as old as 80 apply. So we really do try and be inclusive. So how to apply? It's quite simple. You just simply have to visit africabusinessheroes.org. The QR code is on some of the banners. Otherwise, you just type in africabusinessheroes.org. You fill in the application, get a reference, and submit 2 videos. One video is of yourself telling us why you are an African business hero, and the second is of a customer telling us why your product or service is beneficial to them, why they've chosen it, and the impact that it's had. So that's really, it's a very straightforward process. There are a few key dates I just want to draw your attention to. We'll close applications on May 19th. So if you're here and you think you're eligible, you're interested, please do apply. If you know someone you think could benefit from this, do tell them. We'll announce our top 50 and 20 in July. Semi-finale will be in September, and grand finale in November. Thank you.
I want to move the program to the next segment. Are we ready to meet our heroes? So, not the Africa's Business Heroes. Every time I sit and engage with these people, guys, I'm always taking notes. Let's ask Charlotte, who's going to be the first person to join the stage. Charlotte is the founder of Mukuru Clean Stoves, a 2022 Earthshot Prize winner. Google it and see how much that prize is. Charlotte was moved to provide safer cooking technologies for her community when her daughter got burned by a traditional stove. She has been recognized and awarded by Global Citizen, World Bank, United Nations, and just a month ago, she received the Forbes Women Africa Youth Icon Award. Please, Charlotte, to my stage. this next person I'm going to introduce is impossible to find. Mr. Tesh Mbabu is an African serial technology entrepreneur who lives to blend commerce and, of course, graduate Computer Science University of Nairobi. Tesh! Tesh Mbabu! Good stuff. Welcome to my stage, sir. The next guy is a TikTok star. We have a TikTok celebrity amongst us. TikTok is big. Also, you know, it's part of the Chinese ecosystem. We need to appease them. No, I'm joking. No, this guy is a genius. I actually call him a genius. Every time you speak to him, he adds a lot of value. Mr. Tony Ndongo is the founder and innovation architect behind Kitabu, amongst others. He's a serial entrepreneur, an innovative education technology company dedicated to transforming the way students, educators, and schools access and engage with educational content. He's also an avid techpreneur with a good number of companies under his belt, including Nilab KE. Tony! Let's keep it. And of course, Chebet Lesan is the founder of Bright Green Energy, an energy innovation company known for biomass briquettes that replace charcoal and firewood with an affordable and eco-friendly alternative. Bright Green's foundation is women. Please, the tiny but mighty Chebet, come through. Guys, what are we talking about? Resilience. Resilience, especially in unstable economic times. So these guys, whenever I hear this topic, I like to think to myself that even when things are tough, there are people who are succeeding. Even when things are seeming impossible, there are people who are thriving. And we have a panel of people who are thriving. Tony, are you thriving?
First, I would like to ask that question to Tesh because he's right here next to me and he's a great person to answer that.
Please.
Wow. Yes, I am. I am thriving.
How do you describe that? Like, how do you define that? How do you know?
So first of all, separating myself from the business, I am thriving. My business is my business is grinding, and I'm grinding along.
What does that mean, Tesh? What's going on?
Basically, businesses go through tough times and good times. We're in a season of very tough times as a business, and that's because of many reasons. The economic situation, the last 3 years from COVID have been really tough. If you're running a business in Kenya or anywhere, you understand. And unfortunately, one of the biggest lessons we learned is we were very investor reliant. So if you're running a business, I'd urge you to try and be as close as possible to the profitability line so that in case things become really hard economically, you can make changes and survive those tough times.
Strategies for building sustainable businesses, because I feel like the business that you've set up 10, 20 years from now, it should be good. Do you think it will be good?
I think it would be great.
Okay.
And the reason why is because we built a business that people needed, not a business that people wanted. It wasn't a nice to have. It was a necessary product to build. And then we decided to set it up in a location where people actually were dying for it, in every sense of that word, literally and figuratively. So I feel like Mukuru will be here even when I'm not here, because I did not build a nice to have. I built a needed business.
And how did you, so needed, I know it was personal to you. How do you move it from, I know that this is needed by me, to I know that this is needed by Africa?
Research, ask your questions, do your own research and find out. Our business is very much like Chebet Lesan's business. We save lives, essentially. So we are not doctors, but if people are not using half fuels to cook, they're inhaling radon. And it's killing them, quite literally. Like almost 30,000 Kenyans die every single year because of household air pollution. So they need our products to be able to breathe cleaner air. They need our products to be able to reduce their reliance on local forests. So that is the reason why I believe we're going to be thriving in 2030 and 2040.
Tony.
Yes.
You're very optimistic about business.
Right.
And it's led you to open several businesses. And how do you stay so positive, especially in times like this? You're a very optimistic entrepreneur. How do you do it?
Because I've been doing this for a long time.
What's a long time?
So when we started the Nilab, there was no tech space in Kenya. So I am tech OG, like old school. Like, we never got funding because we were black. Simple. It was not because we were black. That's it. That's why you never got any money.
Real talk.
By the time we put $5.5 million, we raised $5.5 million for the NILAB. We were in the newspaper, in the Nation. My dad still has that hanging because I was black and I had raised money. And very quickly I found out what he found out in 2011, that when you raise money, your nightmare begins. And so that's why I said talk to Tesh first, because I am him. No, wait. Yeah, I am him 10 years from now. Looking back, and I have all the experiences you've talked about, the research we've talked about. You've been burnt so bad, you've gotten used to the heat. And when you get used to the heat, optimism is all that's left. Yeah, because you see, look, let me break it down. It's very simple. The reality of, and what you said is so powerful, and I knew he was going to say drop some gem. You need to separate yourself from your business, because you are not your business. The business is an idea that you created that has now come to fruition, that is trying to find its own feet. If it doesn't, it has nothing to do with you. You just gave it a shot, then it didn't work, go to the next one. I am more appreciative of the times I've failed or something has failed than I am of success. You don't learn anything from success. You don't learn anything from success. You just feel great. You think you're the man or the woman, and you go out there and you think the world's going to love you. You learn almost nothing from success. But from failure, oh my God.
So Chebet, which relationships should entrepreneurs focus on?
That's a good question.
Yeah, is it with my
That's a
financial
good
institution?
question.
Which one? Yeah.
So one of the things that everyone in the room needs to know is anything money can buy, relationships can buy. I can buy a car or I can get given a car. Either way, I have a car.
You sound like Charlotte.
So
Charlotte speaks. I love it.
So I think it's important for us to recognize that relationships are an asset to your business and they're an asset to your life, right? I think first of all, you need, and this is going to sound quack, you need a relationship with whoever is handling your money. So your bank and what have you, you need a relationship with them. One day, just go talk to your relationship manager, tell them about your business. If they have time, let them come and see your business. And I think it's also very important, let me just balance that out with have friends. Have people who actually care about you outside the business. You find that when you start to do well, you're surrounded by so many people. So what happens to the kind of relationships you have are very shallow relationships. People don't really know you outside what you're doing. So there's many kind of relationships that you can build, but I just want to focus on that because as an entrepreneur, you're an asset to your business, right? And you're that asset which is irreplaceable. Like insurance cannot buy you if you drop dead today. Like you're gone. It's not like if your factory goes up in flames or something of the kind. So recognize that you're an asset to your business. So take care of yourself by finding the people who actually care about you and the people who you don't have to perform for. Like you can come as you are, you know, in your PJs and say, I'm not winning. Like this thing is hard. I feel like giving up. So I'd say those two relationships.
Tony, you have something to add to that?
Yo, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Hey, it's taken me 10 years to figure out that I don't have friends. So a friendship is an investment that is made by both myself and the other person, right? I can count the number of times I've said, okay, I'm going to drop what I'm doing to go to Chebet and talk to her about the issue she's having. I can count. I can't count the number of times I've said, I can't make it for that thing or that family thing or that wedding because I have a thing I have to do for the office, right? And then what happens is just like anything normal that if you don't put a plant in the sun, it withers, right? So friendships tend to wither. It doesn't mean that people don't like each other. It's just your priorities are a bit off. So when I say it took me 10 years to learn I don't have friends, I'm not saying that they're not there. I just never invested in them. So it's only recently, for reasons you know, that I've started looking back and thinking, how can I need to actually get my friends, not my company partner's friend or my partner's friend. I need to get my own people. And then when you sit down and look, you actually have a lot of people, but you let it wither. So it's your responsibility to now start pouring water on it and trying to get people to be involved in your life and you get involved in theirs. And that's, I think, one of the things I've learned. It's a simple quote. It's a very powerful quote. You will never be paid for presence. You will be paid for purpose. And we all think that companies reward us because of our presence. No, companies reward us because of our purpose. If you're living in your truth, your company will grow faster and you will not make stupid mistakes because you realize you deserve it. I deserve better than a person giving me $30 million and every night he's calling me names. Just so that I can look on LinkedIn dope, wow, look, I raised X amount. You're going to be like, I'd rather work and live on pennies than die in depression on your millions.
Wow, guys. That's how you end a panel.
My name is Victor. I'm a medic. My question goes to Tony. So how do you find a co-founder who you align with and you can build something great together? Thank you.
You wing it. You wing it. I've started a new company called Tribe. I started with my 2 friends. One of them I've known for 26 years. I'm 44, he's 45. I met him when I was 17. I think that's 20-something. I might be right or wrong. It's a long time. And 7 months into the business, he was the wrong fit. Both of them are the wrong fit. It's a tech company, it's a fintech. One's a pilot and the other's a psychologist. What the hell am I doing? So I had to sit with them and be like, the company will fail because you're idiots. No, the company will fail because we don't have the skill set among us. But I now know what I need. So I went to another guy and another guy, and I said, I'm going to give you this chunk of the company, and I have to take it away from my closest friends. And I had to sit down with them and say, your 25% is now 2.5%, and explain why. So it's a wing it thing. A lot of these things, you just have faith and you try, right? Because there's no answer to that question. That at least I have.
What are the top 3 things that you do as leaders at your businesses to run them?
Oh, your job as a leader is to motivate your staff. That's the primary thing. Like, you need to make sure people understand what they're doing. The second thing, of course, there's this, it's about 3 to 5% that nobody else in the company can do except you. That's also what you should be doing. Anything you can delegate, please delegate. If you have the team and you have the right people and they can do it 80% as good as you, delegate. Because again, perfection is the enemy of progress. What would I say is the third thing? Making sure that whatever it is that the company is doing aligns to who you are and what you're telling the world that the company is. So you need to spend a lot of time as a leader thinking, what are we really doing? What are we really, really, really doing? So nobody else has time to think because everybody else is executing. So you provide most value if you spend time thinking and supporting the team with ideas.